Back here in Albuquerque, the scope of the DWI Deception scandal just keeps on growing. Another local, very high-profile defense attorney is admitting to his role in this decades-old scheme.
Yeah, Rudy Chavez pleaded guilty to federal charges, and we got a hold of the court documents just to see what punishment might be on the table. Let's get right to our Zach Rael. Zach, you spoke with a legal expert about this latest development. What exactly, though, did Chavez admit to doing here?
Well, Trevor, Tessa, right here I have copies of the plea agreement with federal prosecutors that Chavez signed. The charges involve him admitting to help set up the scheme to pay Metro law enforcement officers to not show up to court on behalf of DWI clients and lying to the FBI. Local attorney Rudy Chavez is now the second lawyer charged in the federal DWI scheme to shock the Metro. The first attorney to admit to his guilt was the scheme ringleader, Thomas Clear III. Chavez pleaded guilty to one count of aiding and abetting extortion and making false statements to the FBI. Federal court documents show in 2023, Chavez was hired in a DWI case where now disgraced former APD officer Onario Alba Jr. was the arresting officer. Investigators say Chavez worked with Clear's right-hand man and paralegal Ricardo Mendez to funnel money from Chavez's client to Officer Alba. In exchange for the cash, Alba wouldn't show up to court, and Chavez's client's case would be dismissed. Chavez also admitted to lying to the FBI when he was questioned about his role.
It's a big deal because we're learning about the gravity of this case. And also they're working their way up to the very pinnacle.
Joshua Kastenberg is a law professor at UNM. He says this latest development shows an escalation in the federal government's investigation into the DWI scheme.
There's a perception that there are 2 or 3 different kinds of legal systems. There's one for the powerful, there's one for the wealthy, and then there's one for the rest of us, right? And this corruption plays into that view of the legal system.
We first learned of Chavez's involvement back in March when 2 other defendants in the investigation took plea deals and named him. A month later, Chavez gave up his New Mexico bar license.
Given how long this has gone on with Mr. Clear, the legal system itself, the bar will have to do a good deal of soul searching.
Kastenberg believes there is still more to come as the investigation into the DWI scandal continues.
We don't know all the facts, the length, the depth, and the distance of everything that's gone on.
Chavez faces up to 25 years in prison and up to $500,000 in fines. He is the 11th person to take a plea deal for their role in the scheme. Zach Rael, KOB4.